Hello and welcome to the Spotlight on BlizzPro TV. We are here to light up your thoughts, opinions, and observations on all of Blizzard's wonderful games. If you put it out there, chances are we'll find it and discuss it. Doesn't matter if you love WoW, Diablo 3, StarCraft 2, or Hearthstone, it's all fair game for someone's opinion. This week's news on the Geeks comes from our first host, the Mumble Queen herself, Sosa. How are you doing, Sosa?
I'm good. I'm mumbling your mumbles, so you're gonna hate me in raid. I'm good.
We love you, Sosa. All right,
Everyone
and
does.
next we have the man responsible for free thinking everywhere, Geeky. How you doing,
Hey,
Geeky?
what's going on?
Oh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And as for who I am Daryl, and I'm just trying to keep up with this circus. All right, so let the games begin. First off, I want to say thank you to our chat room. Thanks for coming in, guys. Good to see you. And we hope you put your comments out there so we can take a look at them while we're talking. So to start this show off, what did you find interesting this week, Geeky?
Lots. There's still lots of buzz about BlizzCon that just happened a couple weeks ago. There's a lot of positive and negative comments being thrown around right now, so there's just so much emotion still. Lots of people still really excited or really upset. One thing that I found this week that was really interesting was there was a World of Warcraft cosplay wedding that was really cool, and it was two people. They dressed up as Varian, and the other person was Whisperwind. Tyranade, yeah, and it was really cool. And the cosplay was excellent. Like, there's some pictures, and I wish I could show them at the moment, but they are really very detailed. And they had all these really cool decorations set up that were like all Alliance themed. It got a ton of publicity. I saw like at least half a dozen different normal newspaper websites and Blizzard sites that were covering it, so it got a lot of attention, and Twitter was responding pretty well to it. They said it was a really nice breath of fresh air and into the community, which was really cool. So it made me really think back to, way back in vanilla or BC, or even today, there's still some people that do like the in-game weddings or in-game, events. I know there was, funerals have taken place to honor people that have died over the years, and it brought up a lot of memories of just people taking part positively in the community, and I thought it was a really good article. I wish we could see more of that kind of stuff in the just every day, because we need some of it, especially right now. Everyone's so angry. So angry.
Well, and luckily the bride and groom didn't get ganked by the horde, so
yeah,
public
That would have been
relations.
so funny. Like a bunch of the groomsmen run in with like little
Yeah.
things. It's like, we're here for our achievements. We're gonna get
There you
2 in
go.
blood. Time for our war bears.
Charge! That's really awesome. No, and I think people, doing stuff like that is really fantastic, and it really shows that this game is in a lot of people's hearts.
Yeah, it is.
And it invades your entire life to a degree. I mean,
Mhm.
how many times do you hear people, oh, I got into this with my boyfriend, or oh, I met someone through WoW and I married them, and
Right.
stuff like that.
Mhm.
It really does. This game is more than a game. It invades your entire life.
The game definitely permeates. I hate the fact that some people think that the gaming world and community is separate from personal life, and I think that there doesn't have to be a boundary. I think that they should be interchangeable and they can bleed over into one another. And I think this is a really good example of that. And like you said, I mean, there's people have made long-lasting friendships from this game or any Blizzard game really, and so I think that. I think that it should be acceptable. I think a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah.
People that don't play these games don't understand
Yeah.
that that's a possibility.
Well, and at
So,
least the bride and groom aren't going to have fights later on about spending too much time on the computer.
yeah,
Yeah.
true. It's true.
So what about you, Sosa? What crossed your desk this week?
Well. Ghostcrawler was tweeting. What a surprise.
Uh-oh.
Of course he
Some of
was.
the things he put out were really, really interesting to me. You heard about how they're getting rid of a few certain stats in the next expansion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not only are they getting rid of certain stats, but they seem to be standardizing equipment more, because the stats that are specific to tanks and healers now, aka armor and spirit are only going to be found not on your basic gear. It's going to be found on your neck, your back, your rings, and your trinkets only. It's not going to be on your hat, your chest, your legs, nothing like that. So there's a chance that a mage and a priest will be wearing the same pair of pants now because there is no spirit on them. So with the new
Wow.
way they're setting everything up, you no longer have to stack spirit is the way they're saying,
Hmm.
though if you still want it, you can put like spell threads and you can enchant for it and you can gem for it if you want to
Mhm.
stack more.
Right.
But it's supposed to be more about smart healing and less about just stacking healing and just blowing all your heals and waiting for your mana to come back.
Wait, wait,
So
wait.
it
You mean I
sounds like it's
can't
going to be
face roll it
interesting.
anymore? You mean I actually have to
No.
work in a raid to heal? What?
Heaven
No.
forbid you
Have
have
you
to
ever been
work.
able to face have you ever been able to face roll healing, honestly?
No.
Says
No,
the
I
girl
was
who
kidding.
can't play a healer to save her soul. But no, I thought that was really interesting. And what it sounds like they're trying to do is for people with dual stacks,
Hmm.
so that way they don't have to carry around a full like 18 pieces of
Right.
gear. They only have to carry like that small selection.
Sure.
It'll still be rough on like the feral druids
Hmm.
versus like say if someone say like a tank versus and
Hmm.
a healer or a for myself I'm an elemental shaman and a resto
Hmm.
shaman, so that it's not good for me, but it would be really hard for the enhancement shaman and the resto
Hmm.
shaman. But you know, it's interesting what they're going to be doing with this. It's going to be neat. I can't wait to see where they go with it, and I like the fact that they're standardizing it.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
there's less chance that that piece of gear, if it drops the third night in a row, it still might be useful to someone. It doesn't have to get
Exactly.
sharded because all the healers have it. So it
Yeah.
might be interesting. We'll
No,
have to
that's
see
a
where
pretty
it
good thing.
goes.
Yeah, no, that's very, very
Yeah.
cool. Um, as for me, you know, people are still talking about, the absence of a strong female lead in another expansion. Um, you know, I don't think that a lot of us, that do play are necessarily looking for, I need a hero, I need
Hmm.
someone to look up to.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I have a 16-year-old daughter, and for her to see, strong female NPC, it's a big part of a storyline, is really cool for her. But it's certainly not the be all end all. And there's a lot of people still talking about that, and there's a lot of hate going around about it too. Um, for instance, there's a person on Twitter, Apple Cider Mage, and she gets slammed all the time for being one of those nasty feminists. And
Right.
I don't think that they're really reading what she's writing and actually looking at it from a non confrontational point of view, because she's not trying to be confrontational. She's just simply saying, well, this is how I feel, this is what I think is going on. And instead of embracing her opinions, they're just like, oh, you just hate men. And I
Right.
think that's really silly, and it's caused a huge uproar, much bigger than I think it should. And that's because people are just being sensitive about the fact that somebody dares to say, well, why don't we have this?
Well, there's a lot of finger pointing going on though, because like I think that guys, and I can speak as representative of the gentleman population. I mean, we feel threatened because now that Metzen made that comment,
Hmm.
women are making comments saying, "Oh, well, he said this," and now this people like Apple Cider Mage are making those comments, and now guys are feeling like defensive. We feel
Hmm.
defensive because we like all guys must share the same view that Chris Metzen said. Because
Right.
obviously Chris Metzen is the representative for all mankind, and so like
Now,
so
what was this comment you're talking about, Geeky?
he had made some comment during a Q&A that Agra was going to stay behind, and that the next expansion was going to be a boys trip, and so people
Hmm.
are all outraged about it. Um, and so like I don't share Chris Metzen's view. I would love to see some female characters, and I think that both men and women players, whether you're feminists or not,
Hmm.
I think that people just need to calm down and just stop
Hmm.
the animosity towards one another. It's not helping
Well, and I
anything.
think his comment was taken. I mean, obviously, looking at just the comment by itself, it's very easy to take it out of context. I think what he was probably trying to say is they were focusing on some of the male lead NPCs for this expansion, um, not it's a boys' trip. It's
Right.
just
Hmm.
this is where they're taking the lore right now. And the next expansion, I mean, who knows? We could, fingers crossed, get a Sylvanas, star.
Well,
Right.
didn't they say though that there's a new rising star in the Warlords of
Was it
Draenor, and it's going to
Urel?
be a female. I don't know the name,
Urel?
unfortunately. I've only heard it referred to as the Joan of Arc for the Draenei.
I think it's
Mm-hmm.
Yrel, but yeah, I think it sounds
Mm-hmm.
right. Um,
Yeah, I've heard about that. So it makes me question, how is this going to be a boys' party? Yet they're bringing up this huge female character and like pushing her out to the thing. I mean, she may be new, but it
Mm-hmm.
could be because they're trying something different. Like, they're just trying something different. And speaking not as a feminist or anything else, but as an equalist, I want to just see some good characters. I'm getting
yeah.
Yes.
so tired of all these characters being so rote. I
Mm-hmm.
want some character with some nice depth to them.
Right.
And I think that Varian's getting there. I don't like how Jane has jumped from one end of the fence completely to the other.
I swear Jaina's
And
bipolar. Somebody's got to
yeah,
give her some like Prozac or something.
yeah,
Oh
something
god.
happened. But I want to see some good characters in there and not just in the books.
Hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
the problem with some of these characters is they're amazing characters in the books, but they're
Right.
having a harder time bringing them out in games. So
Well,
I think that's the biggest problem.
speaking to that comment, which I completely agree with, and I was having a Twitter debate with some people earlier, not really a debate, but rather a discussion about books versus the gameplay lore.
Mm-hmm.
And the new book that's coming out about the trial is actually going to have a section that's focused on Sylvanas. And I guess she is going to play a role in this book, from what I've read from articles and interviews and stuff, which I think is good. But I would rather see
Mm-hmm.
this involvement, like I don't know, on screen, so I can watch it, interact, talk to Sylvanas. I don't know.
Right.
It might be
Yeah,
crazy
like
talk, but
Blizzard's amazing, but they still don't know quite how to bring out the full character development in the game yet. They can let an author who has all the room and space in the world and all the talent to write it out, but they're having a harder time getting the characters and all of that stuff in game without having to drown us in cutscenes or little things like that. They need to try and
Mm-hmm.
find a way to weave it in a little better, but I think they're working on it, which is exciting.
I think I don't know if they're going positive or like making progress or making like steps backward, because I feel like Thrall was all in Cataclysm. That was Thrall's expansion,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Yeah.
think they tried to be a little bit more central with the Alliance. Anduin was big. Varian, and I think that those three characters, Thrall, Anduin, we had Vol'jin this time around, which is good. I mean, there's so many secondary characters that I haven't seen in years that I would love to know what's going on. And the fact that I have to read a book to keep up on their lore kind of makes me upset,
Right.
because I shouldn't have to spend money or whatever to that. And it's not because I'm lazy and don't want to read. I'm going to be a teacher to teach reading,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
that's not really the reason why. But I mean, I made a point or a comment the other day watching the Garrosh death or defeat
Mm-hmm.
cinematic, and you see all
Sure.
the Horde leaders there, and they're discussing Vol'jin's rise to fame. But if you look at the Alliance video, where's all the other Alliance leaders? Where are they
Yeah,
at?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to know. I want to know what's going on. I'm sure they're off fighting or whatever, but I want to know. I definitely want to know
Mm-hmm.
their story, and I wish Blizzard would stop throwing all their lots in one hat and just let's spread it out. Let's give everyone a story.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I think that would be very cool. Um, and thinking of that kind of stuff, and uh, what what are we looking forward to most in the new expansion? Sosa, what do you think?
Well, WoW Insider did a poll actually, and I just checked up on it before the show,
Mm-hmm.
and it is garrisons are in the lead, but the new content, like all the fresh stuff that's going on,
Mm-hmm.
the new world to explore, all the new stuff to do, the new quests, that's right behind it. So that is what people are looking for, and honestly, that's what I'm looking for myself. I'm glad that they're not putting in any new like races
Mm-hmm.
or classes or anything like that because we've
I
got lots of
agree.
those.
Mm-hmm.
But the garrisons sound like an interesting thing to do at endgame. So even if you're not a raider, you got something to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really excited about the new content. I'm a lore buff. I love that kind of stuff. I love exploring. I love seeing
Mm-hmm.
all the new stuff. I love getting my lore master. I love doing the quests.
Same
So
here.
Those two things
Mhm.
are just huge on my list, and I'm super excited about them. Though, I mean, there's lots of other stuff people are getting excited about, the new character models, all of that
Oh
stuff.
yes.
So,
Yeah, definitely.
what are you guys excited about?
Oh gosh, I want to be excited about Garrisons. I think it's long overdue. I mean, housing was supposed to be in vanilla, and then they took it out, and we're waiting 9 years for it, 10 years by
Mhm.
the time it comes out. My only reservation is, they're going to be more expansions. Cross their fingers
Mhm.
on that one after this, but I want to know what they're going to do with garrisons afterwards. Are we going to have to go back to Draenor for our garrisons in future expansions? Are we going to be able to move them to Azeroth? I think that needs to be kind of explained because right now it seems very geographical, and it seems like the current location is only for this expansion. So I'm
Like the farm?
yeah, like I'm excited, but I'm cautious. So that player
Well,
model's definitely, um, and it's Draenor. I'm down. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah.
for me, think about the garrison thing. I've always loved the concept of having like my own house. I mean, we've
Hmm.
got some of that with Half Hill and your farm there. You've got a place, and it's an inn for you. It's your own personal inn, and you've got, you can grow mats and all kinds of other stuff. You can help get your rep up that way.
Right.
And I think it's really, really well done. And it makes it really seem like home. And
Hmm.
I'm hoping that they do something similar with garrisons. The only thing that I'm a little worried about is that people may spend too much time holed up in their garrisons in the beginning.
Right.
They want to unlock everything, and get all the cool stuff and do all the decorating or whatever we're going to be allowed to do with the garrisons to personalize it. Um, I'm really worried that people are going to get lost in that sandbox. And,
Right.
that would be a real shame for something that's so neat to take up too much of your time because then you're going to risk, people, potentially, smaller guilds breaking
Hmm.
up because some people want to raid and others are too busy playing in their sandbox,
Right.
uh, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that this is a really bad comparison, but I mean we had pet battles in this expansion, and
Hmm.
so
Mhm.
I'm interested to see how Garrison. I mean Garrison seems like it plays more to different groups, and I think pet battles was really narrow. It was like you like Pokemon, then you're gonna love this. But Garrison is like it kind of appeals to the RP side, it appeals to the raid side because there's
Right.
gonna be buffs. It's gonna appeal to the farmers that want gold. I mean it's hitting all these high notes. That's really good. So. But I agree. I think that some people are probably going to be holed up there after they hit 100 or as
Hmm.
soon as they can unlock it, and then they're just gonna not want to come out of their homes.
I was holed up in the farm pretty much as soon as I unlocked them, honestly.
I
Like, I
never
spent
did that.
forever getting everyone's thing up. I had
Hmm.
everything on at least two characters, had all the reps up, so I have all the neat stuff, like the
Right.
cats and the sheep and the chickens
Yep.
and
Same
the
here.
made up house. So, some people are going to do it, some people aren't. That's just the way it is. You really can't stop that. Some people are going to
That's
do
true.
it, some people aren't.
Yeah.
At least it offers a little more than the farm did. Like the farm
Right.
was the
Right.
first step and they're moving it out. So they'll probably move it out.
Yeah.
Like they're constantly evolving it. So like the farm was the farm. This is going to give you more options for more stuff. Maybe in the next expansion it'll actually have more customizable options, like actually a new profession, furniture maker. You get to make your
Yep.
own
There you go.
furniture, or you get to go treasure hunt, trophy hunting to get stuff to decorate. Could you imagine raiding Karazhan and being able to take stuff from there and put it up in your own
Oh
house?
yeah.
That's what I'm hoping the garrisons will eventually evolve into.
Yep.
So
Definitely. Or
we'll have to see
PvP.
what
Add
happens.
PvP to it. I think that'd be
Yeah, add
great.
PvP, like add a little arena that you can invite people to and they can fight. Or you can invite other people to it and have a pit fighting thing where you're hosting.
Oh, that would
Could
Right.
be
you
cool.
imagine having a pit fighting arena in your own home?
I think it'd be cool.
I could see some people who'd really
It's
like that.
it's a launch pad for future features. I think it's great, and I think that all the time that we had to wait, I think that it was good that they put a lot of time and care into it because I'm sure they've been planning it for years, and I think they were just
Mm-hmm.
waiting for the right time to do it, and you know, Warlord seems like a good enough time. So, but we'll find out. I
Well,
mean, beta
they
test,
won't
we'll
put
know.
something out if they
Yeah.
They don't like to put stuff out unless they know that they've got a solid base that they can build off of.
Right.
So
Yep.
like the farms were the first step, and they've been moving up. They're moving up, so it's going to be exciting.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I think so. Well, and thinking of new stuff, I mean, there's WoW Insider was talking about, what add-ons, should Blizzard incorporate into the game.
Hmm.
And a lot of people, want that customizable UI. They
Right.
want to be able to
Mhm.
move stuff around in
Yep.
game without having to get a third party UI.
Yep.
Because sometimes they can be a little messy, or they don't necessarily work with some of your other add-ons that you have, and you have some
Sometimes the
issues.
people who are making it stop making it, and so you have to find a completely new one because yours isn't being updated, and
Hmm.
now it doesn't work with this new patch.
Right.
Right.
So you never know what's going to happen. So yeah, no, people, the Blizzard's always been good about that. They've been doing it since, I don't know, when did they start adding those in? Wrath was when they started taking like some of the popular add-ons and
Yeah,
moving them
for the
in,
most part.
like
Yeah.
Quest Tracker and that, Quest
Yeah.
Tracker
Hmm.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Yep.
So no, like it all right. If you could pick your favorite add-on, what would you like to cram in here?
Oh wow. I don't know. There's so many
Uh,
I use. It's tough to pick one good one. Maybe like a combine all the bags into one bag. I think that's like the most practical.
hmm
I don't know. I can't remember
Yeah.
if they listed. I know they're doing some bag changes in the next expansion. I can't remember if that's something that they're tweaking around, but functionality I think is the big
Mhm.
thing for me.
hmm
What about you, Daryl?
I thinking about it, I would really like to see, obviously bigger bags, that to start off with,
Right.
a bigger backpack. Um, and I
It's not
think,
quite a UI. That's
well,
not quite an
no,
Yeah.
add-on, but
but just being able to, manage my bags a little better,
Mm-hmm.
particularly when you're visiting one of the NPC merchants,
Right.
yeah.
and being able to have those customized bags so that you can have, a better organization system without having to spend an hour and a half trying to
Well,
Right.
organize your bags.
I
Mm-hmm.
think they said one of the new things that are being added is the ability to assign stuff to a specific bag. Like
Hmm.
anytime you
Right.
gather ore, it's going into a specific bag.
Right.
I
Mm-hmm.
think someone said that. I can't remember. There was so much information coming
Oh
out at
yeah.
us. I can't remember all of
Yep.
it. But what I'd like to see is a standardized SCADA or oh God,
Recount.
what's the other word? Recount.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I want something in there that's standardized so that way you're not getting weird things like someone saying, no, SCADA says this, well, Recount says this. I'd like to see a standardized one that cannot be spammed
Right.
Right.
in raid, trade, guild, anything
Yeah.
like that. You
Right.
cannot spam it. If you click it, it shows it for you and you alone. Everyone else can see it because it's built in,
Yeah.
but you cannot spam it. I would want that
Yeah.
because I'm
I
so
think I
sick
think
of
that would be
LFRs and
good.
people.
It would be good because I think a lot of players, and especially with Flex and LFR being more accessible to people,
Hmm.
it allows people to quantify their ability and their skill by seeing a little number at the bottom of their screen saying, "I'm doing 150k DPS on
Hmm.
Neuroshin," and people get
Yeah.
all warm and tingly thinking about the fact that they're doing so much damage. And so I think that they could do it, but the thing that people have a problem with those add-ons is that it causes so much lag and it's such a
Hmm.
data dump on your internet connection that some people who have really bad connections, like, they can't run those add-ons because it
Right.
just bogs them down. So if Blizzard could incorporate it and make it so it's not so resource heavy, I think it would be great because I mean it's something you can just turn it on and off. It's not something that's always there. If people don't want to see it, they don't have
Yeah.
to have it on. Just make it an
Right.
option. Check the box.
Yeah, exactly. So like you don't have to have it, but it's a way of having it so that way you can still see it, but you don't have to spam it.
Right.
Like that would be nice because I use SCADA because I don't use SCADA to see how I'm doing versus other people. Well,
Hmm.
sometimes I do, but I use SCADA to tell me how I'm doing so that way I
Hmm.
can check it later
Right.
versus other stuff because I can't read World of Logs honestly.
Right.
But no, but they're adding stuff in and they're always adding new stuff, so it's super exciting. A lot of people are talking about what they want in it, like the mail add-ons, ways to check your alt bags and what
Hmm.
they're carrying on it, because most of us have a mule somewhere. So
And
it'd be nice to just say, do I have this, and be
yeah.
able to check it without having to have that extraneous add-on.
Right.
Well, in the chat room, Zedvisary said, "I'd much rather BattleNet collect the logs for us."
Right. And that
and then we
would
can
be
review them
nice.
later, but not actively watch them.
Right.
Mhm.
So do their own version of World of Blogs. That would be
Right.
really cool.
It would be good.
Yeah,
It would put
that
World of
would be.
Logs out of business, but I mean, I think it would be good for Blizzard, and yeah, I think
Well,
it's a
if
good
they
idea.
could make it, more user friendly, I
Hmm.
think people would, go for it.
Yeah, you could spend
Yeah.
some hours going through World of Logs trying to figure out,
Hmm.
oh, what's this mean? It takes a while. That's why there's like YouTube guides for people who don't know how to do it, so that they can dive into it as a raid leader or someone
Right.
who doesn't know their class very well and wants to get better, that they can analyze it. But I mean, you really shouldn't have to spend time learning that. It should be very matter of fact.
Easy and able to look at. Yeah.
Hmm.
You know what? I think Da Vinci Virus 77 wins when he says "Wow, Peggle."
Oh, yes.
They need
Hmm.
to put in "Wow, Peggle" back in as an add-on,
Yep.
or "Wow, Bejeweled" or something like
But
that.
I remember
They had
that.
those. Those used to be
Oh
add-ons. I remember
man,
those back in. God, how long
Wrath.
ago was it?
Wrath
Yes.
probably. Yeah.
I think actually
It's been a
wasn't it
while.
It's been a
TBC?
Yeah, I think it came out then. I just remember Wrath,
Yeah.
waiting for Thaddeus pulls an X-Ramus, and I'm running back, and I got the thing up, and I'm trying to steer my guy and, play the game at the same time. That's good
Yeah, that
stuff.
way you're not alt-tabbing the solitaire while you're waiting for the tank to discuss the raid strats.
Right, right, yeah. But I think that Blizzard's effort and attempt to make the UI better is based on Star Wars MMO, because
Yes.
their UI is so customizable as long as you're not free to play and you spend the money. It's very customizable, because I mean I played when the game came out, and it wasn't, it was good, and then they made some tweaks,
Hmm.
and now it's really good. And I think
Yep.
Blizzard is looking at other games like Star Wars and are saying, hey, we need to make some changes like that so we can make our
Right.
customers happy. So
Oh, yeah, I
good call,
definitely
Blizzard.
agree. I'm thinking of, with some customizing stuff, we've got Heroes of the Storm coming up.
Hmm.
Um, and there's, of course, been a lot of talk about, is it going to be a lol killer and all of these other things.
Right.
Um, but as long as it's user friendly, as far as, no abuse, or at least minimum abuse, um, from the quote elite players,
Right.
I think it will be really fun. And I know a lot of people are looking forward to seeing what they do
Hmm.
with Heroes of the Storm.
Right.
And how are they going to make it, customizable as far as, what character you have, you're playing, um, you know,
Diablo on
building
a
up your
sparkle
team.
Pony.
Yes,
Yeah. Yep.
I love that. That was my absolute favorite thing I saw. Diablo and a sparkle pony. Must have it.
that would be awesome.
Oh, that game, I'm so excited for that. I mean, I played Dota 2, and I
Mhm.
never played League because it's one of those things that I'm just really afraid to stick my toe in the cold water, because I just don't want to,
Mhm.
It's
and
freezing.
it
It
is
is freezing.
it's frigid. It's like ice crown frigid, and I I just don't like a game that's intimidating before I play it. Like,
Hmm.
how is that
Yeah.
inviting as for me as a new player? And so there's so much positivity around Heroes of the Storm right now, and I think it's great because Blizzard has such an opportunity to throw resources and money and manpower into this game and build off the success of Hearthstone, which is not even out yet for public use, and it's already got 5-star ratings
Mhm.
from all these people.
Hmm.
And so I'm hoping that they can build off of that and make it just as good and make it simple
Hmm.
as possible, because League of Legends is just it's just
Oh,
got
I know.
it's too
They
complex.
that's exactly it. Is because of the bad rep that League of Legends has gotten. That's why so many people are excited about Heroes of
Yep.
the Storm, because it's got that friendlier appearance to it,
Hmm.
and it doesn't have that taint that LoL has. So
Yes.
it's going to gather all those people who were maybe interested in
Hmm.
LoL but don't want to, like Geeky said, dip their toe into that cold water or lava, whatever you want to call it, because it's
Right.
probably you're probably gonna get
Yeah.
flamed.
Burn your
Yeah.
foot off. Yeah.
But it's going to go in there. And if Blizzard keeps it more similar to, say, the Hearthstone style, where the moats and stuff like that,
Hmm.
so you could just click to I'm going here, defend this point, stuff like
Right.
that, instead of like full text, you
Hmm.
can probably keep a lot of the negativity down.
Right.
I mean, there's still people who complain about certain emotes in Hearthstone,
Right.
which just blows my mind. But that's neither here nor there. But if they keep it like that, you actually keep down the negativity, because there
Mhm.
is no way to flame someone.
Right.
There's just you're talking to your other guys, and maybe you've got like a little taunt button for your opponents,
Yeah.
but nothing serious, just something like lighthearted.
Right.
But you could have some fun with this, and
The,
it would bring in all of those people who've heard of LOL, who don't know what this
Right.
type of
Definitely.
games are, because LOL is so
Definitely.
big, everyone knows about it.
Mhm.
I don't know the slightest thing about these games. I really have never played any. I've been interested in them because I've heard so much about LOL. It's everywhere,
Yep.
but I don't want to touch it because of it's, it's kind of got that taint. You just want to kind of shove it into the corner and hope no
Right.
one sees it.
No,
You don't
I
want it in
tried
your
it.
room.
I tried it, and I mean, it looks neat. It's kind of cool,
Mm-hmm.
but it is brutal.
Right.
And the abilities that your characters have, um, and it's free to play. I mean, you can pay money to unlock characters or unlock stuff.
Right.
But just out of the gate, free to play, the abilities of the characters aren't necessarily real clear
Yeah.
on how you're doing stuff and how you're supposed to use it. And then you have to rely on the people that you're running around with to kind of know what they're doing to help
Mm-hmm.
you figure out what you're doing. And of course, I mean, if you make a mistake or you die too much, like they're screaming at you.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no margin for error.
Right.
It's like, doesn't matter who you are, you should be pro status as soon as you log in. Like,
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. There's no learning curve. There's either
No.
you know it or you're going to get blamed.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
But the interesting thing I've heard some people though bringing up, this is just kind of slightly off topic with Hero of the Storms, but wasn't this genre of kind of idea thing? Wasn't this like a StarCraft 2 mod? The Dota? Wasn't it like a StarCraft 2 mod or something like that?
I
Defense
can't.
of the Ancients?
I can't.
And
That
that's what
sounds
started this
familiar.
entire genre?
If
That's
someone,
what I
I'm
heard.
sure someone in the chat room's got to know the answer to that question because that sounds
Yeah.
right, but I can't.
Yeah, I'm not 100% on that one.
I'm
See,
not
I know
100%
that
either.
someone said it was a mod based off of, it was a Warcraft 3
Yeah, it's
mod.
Warcraft
Thank
3
you.
mod, yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, it was a mod off of a Blizzard game that started this genre, and
Right.
it's literally, and it was Defense of the Ancients, and it blossomed into this whole thing that became like League of Legends,
Mhm.
Smite, all of these other games, and now Blizzard's going back into it. So it kind of, but with their own thing, like it was a mod originally, but that's interesting to see them kind of going back to something like this. You almost expected it kind of sooner, but Blizzard, they move as slow as a glacier. So
It's true. It's kind of their theme right now of going back to their original content. I mean, that's what they're doing with Warlords and WoW.
Mhm.
They're doing it with this style of game now, and
Right.
I think that it's good for that reason, but also it's good from a money reason too because
Oh, yeah.
look at League of
Oh, yeah.
Legends. I mean, they have competitions. They're giving away millions of dollars. They got millions of people playing worldwide. And I'm sure the
Mhm.
Blizzard's looking at that and saying, "Well, how can I get a piece of the pie? Because that's a
Right.
pretty
Oh,
tasty
yeah,
pie
yeah.
over there." So I mean, and I think that's good for them to do that. And I'm sure if they do it well and they make it simple and balance personal customizability that League of Legends has, but not have it so negative,
Oh,
not such
exactly.
a
not have it so
cesspool.
negative, not have it so deep and like overly complicated. You're not going
Right.
to get the LOL players, except unless you
Right.
get the ones who are completely exhausted of the negativity.
Right.
You're not going to get those, but you're going to get all the new people or all the people who are interested but don't want to touch it. So this is going to be definitely interesting.
Yes.
So
Yeah, I definitely won't go back to LOL. I mean, I tried
No.
it some,
I'm not
and
gonna try it.
yeah, it totally frightened me away. I just wanted to hide under a blanket. But I would definitely go for Heroes
Yeah.
of the Storm.
Yep, the community is ready.
Now-
The community is
Oh,
very
yeah.
ready.
very, very ready.
Mhm.
Now, just speaking of Heroes of the Storm,
Hmm.
have you guys been hearing about the beta keys again?
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Remember all the Hearthstone? How Hearthstone is still huge. It's going like open beta, like
Mhm.
any day now, like really soon. And
Right.
people are still on Twitter and still in the forums begging for beta keys.
Mhm.
And the second that the thing went up for Heroes of the Storm, there were people typing like, give me a beta key, give me a beta key. They put the beta key opt-in. There isn't even a beta scheduled yet,
Right.
and people are already begging for keys.
Oh yeah.
There was a CM for the Diablo. I don't remember which one, unfortunately,
Mhm.
but they literally had to say on Twitter, guys, stop begging for Reaper of Soul keys,
Mhm.
beta keys. We are having a very small beta to test everything. You can't get in for a very specific reason, so please stop begging. Like this beta begging is just, I've never seen it like this. I've never
Yeah,
seen it this
it
bad
is
ever.
crazy. It really is. I mean, and I guess that shows, Blizzard is, not going under people. Hello, they're not going
Right.
under. Um, they're putting out lots of stuff, and everybody wants to play it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody
Oh
wants to
yeah.
try it.
Yep.
Even if they're not playing WoW anymore,
Hmm.
or at least not right now, they're not playing WoW or for whatever reason, you know, they're wanting to go back to Blizzard games. They're wanting to
Hmm.
Yep.
do those things.
Yep.
And I think it's fantastic that they're doing stuff that's going to bring all types of gamers
Yep.
Hmm.
into one community, one big whole community. I
Yeah.
think that's really a lot of fun.
It
But
is.
begging for babies has got to stop. It's getting to the point where it's
It's.
actually
You're
it's
right.
a joke.
It's really bad.
It was like they're making bigger and bigger betas because of the amount of people who want into these things.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't remember any of the other betas being nearly as big as Mist. Mist beta was one of the biggest betas they ever had for Mists of Pandaria. I was in the Burning Crusade beta, and it was nowhere near as big as the Mist beta.
Oh yeah.
Nope.
And
Mm-hmm.
people weren't begging for it. Like I said, I've got a key, and I'm probably not going to play it much. The only other person who wanted it was my boyfriend. Everyone else said, "No, I'm good. I'll wait for the expansion." But here, if I was to say I've got a Hearthstone key, there's like 3 days till the open beta, and
They're
people
gonna
are
jump
go
you.
crazy. No, I don't. I don't have a Hearthstone beta. I don't have a Hearthstone
Yep.
beta. Oh God, my Twitter is gonna blow up. Oh
Exactly.
God.
Yep. It's crazy. I got my second key because I was a Battle.net. I used it during the beta or whatever, and so I got a second key this week, and I was really scared to type out that I had a key, and I put the hashtag in front of Hearthstone, and then my feed blew up because people were like of all shapes and sizes and dialects and languages were like, oh, I need a key, my dog is dying, I need a key, and so I was like, oh, here we go, and so I had to, as a person with a key.
Hearthstone's the only thing that gives my dog comfort.
Yeah, I want to play with my son. And some of them seem really genuine, and I'm like, oh, this is killing me. So I had to think of a good way to give it away, and something community
Random
based.
draw. That's the
Right,
only
and,
thing
and
you
that's what
can
it came down to. But at least I had people say, "Hey, post your favorite fictional Blizzard hero." So at least they're kind of getting involved in it, and I saw other people
They
doing
have to put
giveaways
some
like that
effort
too.
into it instead of just
Yeah.
saying my dog's dying.
Well, because it
My
seems
dog
like
wants
right
to play
now,
Hearthstone.
right now it seems like if you're in the right place at the right time, you're going to get a beta key in this era of beta
Yeah.
keys that Blizzard has so graciously introduced to everyone. But I remember like during Wrath and Kata, before they even announced, before beta even came out, they'd have contests like, um, what was it, like the fastest time to level 25, or how many level 25s within a 24-hour period can you make. And they had contests like that, and people were just going nuts for it. So you'd have these private, or these dedicated servers that Blizzard would have up, so people could do that. And then you'd see like Tearsfall Glades with like 1,000 undead rogues running around, and it's just ridiculous. But at least people had to work for it, and I thought it was.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, I took part in it, and I failed horribly, but I thought it was like, hey, I have to work to this. That's not like entitlement anymore, or yet rather.
Wow.
So.
I missed those. I didn't see any of those. Where was I back then?
I don't know.
Jeez. I wasn't paying much attention to the outside sites at that point. I only recently got into the community, so This is exciting to see this stuff. Like I got into the community. Actually, it would have been right before Kata. It was when I really started being involved with the outside community.
okay.
So this is super exciting to see all of this stuff. I don't know much about way back then. I've been playing WoW since beta, but I didn't bother with any of that stuff until right before Kata. So
Okay.
this is exciting.
very
So
exciting.
with all of this, going on, do you guys think that Blizzard planned this to distract us from Warlords of Draenor?
I think distract is the wrong word. I think it's more like bridge the time gap, because I think that they realized how much of a delay there was between like when Dragon Soul came out and when Mists of Pandaria launched, because there was quite a gap, and it's like, how many times can I run Dragon Soul LFR before I want to quit the game? So I think that with all these new games they have coming out and the betas, I think they did it intentionally, and I think they timed it perfectly, because I think that it worked out well. I think it will work out well. People are going to be playing Hearthstone. Millions of people will be playing Hearthstone, and they won't get tired of it for months. And then
right?
by the time they might lose a little interest, open
We got
beta maybe,
Heroes of the Storm.
or Heroes of the Storm even.
Yep.
There's going to be
Yeah.
options, definitely options. So.
And Reaper of Souls.
And
So
Reaper of
there's like
Souls. Yep.
3 things. So
Mhm.
there's 3 things that could distract them.
Yep.
I don't think there's anything StarCraft 2 on the docket at the moment.
No.
But you've got the Diablo expansion, you've got the Hearthstone, you've got the Heroes of the Storm. So yeah, I don't think it's Well, it could be distract. It could be just give some people something else to do without wandering away from Blizzard entirely. Just giving them something to do. And you notice how most of these, with the exception of the Diablo, are small things. You don't play these for hours on end.
No.
Well, some people do. I've heard stories
Yeah.
about LOL, but yeah. But it could be just that thing. Is something just to give people something to do. I'm tired of. I've done my raids. I'm not logging in to do like other stuff. I don't have any I don't want to do dailies anymore. I don't have
Right.
any more reps to grind. Well,
Right.
instead, I've done my raid for the week. What am I going to do? Well, I could log into Hearthstone, or I could log into Heroes of the Storm. Just waste a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So no, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing. I don't think you want to give it the big conspiracy theory thing.
Right.
Because
Well, I'm not
there
trying to
probably
imply
are
that.
people who think that.
But no, I mean it's. I think that the timing is very good because
Oh yeah, it's excellent.
people are still. I mean, even now it's already a decent chunk past BlizzCon.
Yep.
It's a couple weeks away. From us. It's now people are settling down and everything else. But people are still talking about what they've said at BlizzCon. They're talking about what's coming up in the expansion for WoW. They're talking about Reaper of Souls. They're talking about Hearthstone. They're talking about Heroes of the Storm.
Mm-hmm.
So all of this stuff is, there's too much stuff for people to talk about to, I think, maybe focus on, wait a minute,
One
they
thing.
haven't told us when is the new WoW expansion. People aren't
Well,
really
they never
focused
do.
on it. Well, right, but people aren't focused on it like they were with Mists of Pandaria.
Right.
I mean, how many times in how many podcasts did you hear every week their prediction of when was MOP gonna be released?
Yeah. So this will give people something else to talk about, something to just, instead of focusing on how long, because that probably made Mists seem so much further away. It was just because people were focused on it and they wanted it, and it was taking so long. So, this is a good distraction. This is something else. You're not as focused, so Warlord seems to come quicker,
Right.
which would be really, really smart on Blizzard's part.
No, I think they're doing a good thing. They're broadening, maybe Soul WoW players' horizons by giving them other stuff to play that they don't have to pay for.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really a smart move on their part to open things up and give WoW players a chance to look at something else. Because, I mean, I know a lot of people who play only WoW. They've never touched Diablo. They've never touched StarCraft. But they still go and on their Xbox and play Halo or Call of Duty or Final Fantasy or whatever.
Ratchet and Clank here.
Yeah, go play Zelda. Ocarina of Time once again. So giving them a variety of games really does open things up, I think, for what they're doing. And it allows the players to get a fresh perspective on something else that Blizzard's doing so they don't burn out on WoW. I mean, I myself have taken a couple breaks from WoW in the past.
Me too.
Because after a while, you're just like, okay, I cannot run Kara one more time. Yep, can't do it.
Yeah.
I can always run Kara one more time. I can always run Kara. I don't know about Siege of Orgrimmar. And I'm probably sure I don't want to touch Dragon Soul for another 1 or 2 expansions. But I can always run Kara again.
Well, back in the day, I mean, we were running Kara 5 nights a week. So I was really sick of Kara by the time we got something else. I was like, oh yes, please.
Well, hey, you never know. You never know. You might run Kara again. There's all speculation about Kara being reintroduced in 6.0 as maybe a possible dungeon. So who knows?
Yeah,
We'll
but
see.
it's a little different. I can definitely deal with that. Um,
I just hope they don't get rid of the entire original. Like, if they make a dungeon or something else, I hope they don't get rid of the original. Like,
yeah.
Karazhan exists in multiple places at multiple times.
Right.
Hmm.
So, like, keep the original and maybe go in another door and you're in a different Karazhan.
Right.
So
Yep.
that way you don't get rid of the original.
Oh, they could
That
totally
one
do
is the
that.
classic. That is totally the classic raid. That is the raid that everyone knows and almost every person loves it. So just don't get rid of that one. Please,
Hmm.
Blizzard. Please. I don't mind you redoing it and having like a new version that's a dungeon or a different raid or something like that. Just please don't get rid of the original Karazhan. You know how
Well, they
long it
can't
took
get
me to
rid of
figure
it.
out how to solo chess?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No,
God.
they can't get rid of Kara because there's so many of us who still don't have that stupid mount.
I
Uh,
won't mention
I
that I
got
have that
him.
mount.
I
I
have
ran
him.
it so many weeks to get that stupid horse, and now
I
that I have it,
I
I'm like, oh, this is so nice.
Do you know it took me 7 years to get Rivendare's Death Charger?
Oh wow, I don't have that one. I don't have that one
When
at all.
when I played vanilla and we were going in there and we would try for the mount and I never saw it drop ever.
Oh wow.
And yeah. So finally, when it got to the point where you could run it every day,
Hmm. You ran it every
I
day for
ran
a
it
while.
Yep.
every day, and it
Yep.
took 2.5 months of running it every day to finally get the stupid horse to
That's
drop.
so crazy.
Because it took forever for them to make it so that you could do it every day.
Right.
Yeah.
So it
I
was like Kara, once a week, and it took me like 7 years to get that stupid
Yep.
horse.
I mean the Ravenlord mount is that for me because I played originally through BC, well the end of BC and Wrath as a druid, and I did the stupid attunement
Oh.
quest and I did all that stuff and I ran it all the time. It's been 5 or 6 years since then. I still don't have the mount, and I every now and then I'll
I
get like
have
on a
it.
month kick where I'll be like, I'll do it every day for a week or two on 5 characters. I still don't have it, so I'm kind of mad that Blizzard's
Yeah,
like holding
I
out on me
managed to
here.
finally get that one. I have that one, and I'm glad Twiz is not in the chat room anymore. I have the headless horse mount.
Oh,
Um,
nice. I'd like that one too.
yeah, so I'm still missing the Huntsman's mount though. Still want that one.
What about Ashes of Alar? Do you have that one?
No, don't have that one.
That's a
Don't, I
fun one.
wish I did.
I
Yeah.
haven't even tried for that one yet.
It's just
I'm almost
soloable. You
nervous
can
to try
solo it.
for it. Oh yeah, I know. I could try for it, but I'm almost nervous because I know people are gonna hate me because I got a two-man. I got the Huntsman's mount after a month of farming.
Hmm.
The first time I took my first paladin through through the Stratholme to get the. I was going after transmog gear of all things,
Hmm.
so I took my paladin through there to get some transmog gear, and I got the Baron Rivendare's mount. So I actually have the achievement. Stratholme finished is the same day as my Baron Rivendare mount
That's
on my paladin.
hilarious. Oh, that's awesome.
Uh, and I got the again, I was going for transmog gear, and it said, "Oh, you have to go to heroic to get this." And I'm like, "Okay." Oh, look, there's this bird. I gotta kill it. Kill, kill, kill. What's this? It dropped a. Oh, is this that thing? I was like, I didn't know where that mount came from. I really didn't know where the Raven Lord came from when I got it. I
That
was
makes me
looking.
so
I was so
sad.
into transmog. Most of the mounts I got were transmog, with the exception of my blue proto Drake.
Oh,
He
nice.
dropped when he dropped when he was current, and I am proud of him, despite the fact I hate the way the proto Drakes look.
It only took me, what is it, 2 months? And a lot of people are probably going to send me hate mail here. But it took me 2 months while it was current to get the green proto drake to hatch from the
Mm.
egg.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
It
Nice.
only took me
second
two
week.
months. Yeah, it only took me 2 months total. And that was back when it was, what was it? You had to sit on the egg for what, five
A
days,
week,
7 days?
Something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
7 days, 7
Yeah,
days. It
so
was 7 days because I got it on my seventh. I got it on my second egg.
it took me two
I
months
almost got
only.
kicked out of my guild.
Yeah, I had a few of the officers threaten to kick me out too because they were like,
Yep.
"No, you can't."
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
so yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that obviously we love. We don't want to see them get rid of.
No.
Whether it's don't get rid of old Kara because we still want them out,
Yep.
or it's just fun to go through and like you said, go see if you can solo the chess game. I
Yeah.
mean, that's fun stuff like that. So
And now
I
that they
don't
added
think
all
there's
those pets.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to get rid of it. I think
Yeah.
we'll see another version of it,
I think so too.
kind of like they did
And
with
exist side by
Strat.
side. Yeah.
Right.
Well, Strat they got rid of. They cleaned it out. They changed it. It's not the same Strat phone.
I'm okay
Yeah,
with
but
it. I'm okay.
it's
Mm.
close. It's close enough, so there's still enough there to recognize it. They just
Yeah, and
put up a
if
few
they
curtains and
yeah.
added a couple throw pillows. You're
Right.
fine.
Scott Monastery is the same way. They changed that, how that worked out,
Yep.
and I think it looks better. I mean,
Yeah.
personally, so
Yeah,
kudos to
it
them.
looks better, but after I'm a Scholomans girl. I ran
Ah,
Scholomans till my
Hmm.
eyes bled, and I loved
mhm.
it. And so going into the new Scholomans, it makes me sad. But I
I
guess
can
things
understand
have to
that.
change. They do have to change. They do have to evolve. But I still miss my old Scolo.
Right.
Yeah, no,
I
I can
always
understand
will.
that. So this is normally where we would read viewer emails. We just don't have any emails this week. It's our first show. But I did want to say thank you again, chat room, for coming in and checking us out, as well as making some really, really awesome comments. Some really good stuff there, guys. Um, but I did want to say we do have something for you guys. So, dear gamers, the overall instant reaction was a resounding yes to all the new shiny things. So please, in the coming months, don't start hating on a part of the next expansion or one of the new games until you see it for yourself. Remember, MLP was a bit of a mixed bag for a while in the community's eyes. Now we love it overall. I mean, it's something that we enjoy. We still like taking in the breathtaking vistas. So give Blizzard a chance to show us the new wonders and take us to that magical place again. Um,
Yes,
thank you,
please.
everyone, for joining us tonight. You are the reason that we're here, and we want to hear from you. Give us your thoughts, your feelings, your opinions. Um, we're here to get your observations out there. You can contact us at spotlight@blizzpro.com. Send us an email. You can also reach us on our Twitter. It's at spotlight, the letter P. Um, Geeky, any final thoughts?
Oh gosh. Just be nice to one another, please, please, please. I know a lot of podcasts say that, but think about what you're saying to other people on Twitter and game. Just really, just take a moment, breathe in and out, and just remember that this is all just a game. We're all having fun, and we'll see you next week.
Sosa, what about you? What would you like to leave us with?
Well, have fun, be positive, and guys, always remember, Sosa loves you.
And as for me, Darrow, just keep on trucking, getting your thoughts out there. We do want to hear from you, and we want to make sure that others know what you're saying. So thank you for joining us tonight, and have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
The forums.
The streamers.
The blogs.
The gamer.
The tweets.
The streamers.
The role players.
The player.
The forums.
The bad.